Shalom, when it's of souls, but giving no praise to Yahweh, Hashem, Yahushua, Hashem, Kakadash, that belongs to the of great most and honors to you brothers doing the work, the most on truth and in sincerity. Yahweh's real name of whom the world only calls God, Jehovah, Yahweh. His real name is Yahweh. The son's true name is Yahweh Shai. And when we pray Yahweh, Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba meaning in, Ha meaning done, Sham meaning names, Yahweh, the name of Yahweh Shai. So quick one, what you call this is from Iran testing a hypersonic missile, right? And then apparently there was a billboard which this allegedly says 400 seconds to Tel Aviv, right, which is the title of this what do you call it, of this lesson, right? So and one of the brothers, which was one of the brothers in the camp, Brother Kabush, right, he was just there like, that's 6.66 minutes, man, right? 400 over 6.666 minutes, right? Which there's something to that, man, right? So whenever we hear about this, that, and the other happening in the world, right, we understand that there are certain prophecies that have to come to pass first, and one of them, it is basically there's going to be something that's these Amalekites are going to do that's basically going to bring forth this, bring everyone into this third world war, right? Which is why, for instance, Yahushua said this to the disciples, right? I'm going to grab this in, in Matthew the 24th chapter. It says, and Yahushua verse 3 to Matthew 24 and 3, and as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privily, saying, Tell us when shall these things be, and what shall be the beginning, what shall be the sign of thy coming and the end of the world? And Yahushua answered and said unto them, Take heed that no man deceive you, for many shall come in my name, saying, I am Mashiach, and shall deceive many. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet, right? And over the last couple of years, we've heard of wars and rumors of wars, right? But we understand that the prophecies must needs to come to pass, right? Which is what Yahushua is saying. This is for all these things must come to pass. So, the rumors of wars, all of that's part of the prophecies, right? It says, for nation shall rise against nation, kingdom against kingdom. There shall be famines and pestilence and earthquakes in diverse places. All these are the beginning of sorrows, right? So, we're basically witnessing the beginning of sorrows all throughout the world, right? However, right, there's certain prophecies that need to be fulfilled, before this war gets real. Right now, Iran and Israel are major players in that, right? So we're going to grab this Jeremiah 49 and 20. Therefore hear the counsel of Yahweh that he hath taken against Edom, and his purposes that he hath purposed against the inhabitants of Teman, right? Surely the least of the flock, right? And that's referring to those Amalekites, man, that are living on our land at this point in time, right? It says, surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitations desolate with them, right? So, and that's what it is, man, right? These Amalekite devils, going to do something that's going to, draw out, these American devils, right, into this war, right, into this third world war, right? And we know that America's going to be completely destroyed, and we know that Israel's going to be hit as well, right? And when you look at this, right, 6.666 minutes, right, to get from one place to another. When I was reading an article, on this, was basically going into how, that's basically not enough time for your air defense systems to do anything, which is why, for instance, one of the things that they were boasting about, right, was basically saying, it can go through the Iron Dome, and as things have been, as has been evidenced by the Ukraine war, right? I think I forgot the name of the Russian missile that took out the Russian missile that took out the Patriot missile system in Ukraine, right? That was a hypersonic missile too, right? And the Patriot missile system is supposed to be this great air defense system, right? But in real world, right, against these hypersonics, they don't do anything, right? I was trying to remember how that's phrased. It says it's in Joel. It's Joel. Right. Just trying to remember where it is. You know what? Really, I'll just read into it, man. This is Joel 2 from 2, right? It says a day of verse 1, right? Blow ye the trumpet in Zion and sound an alarm at my holy mountain, and all the inhabitants of the land tremble, for the day of Yahweh cometh, for it is nigh at hand. And son off of the apostle on down, right? That's what you're seeing happening all throughout the world, right? Ezekiel 37th chapter coming to pass, right before everyone's eyes, right? And blowing this trumpet, basically, warning the people, right? Ezekiel the third chapter from around about the 17th verse, right? We have to warn the people lest these people's blood is on our hand, right? On our hands, right? So, one of the things we're telling them is, look, the day of the Lord Yahweh is coming, right? The end of this man's system is coming, right? It is near, right? And one of the things, to do that is to be constantly watching what is going on. This is Mark 13 and 33, right? It says, take ye heed, watch and pray, for you know not when the time is, right? So watch and pray, right? Watch these, watch what's happening in the world, follow the prophecies, right? It says Sirach the 39th chapter and the first verse, but he that giveth his mind to the Lord the Most High and is occupied in the meditation thereof will seek out the wisdom of all the ancient and be what? And be occupied in prophecies, right? Let's see if we can garner more information, right? Be active in the prophecies, right? That's probably that's probably something to go into a little bit more, right? In another lesson, right? Reside or have one's place of business, and this is our business, right? Preoccupy, right? Fill the mind with prophecy. So when we see stuff like this, it's just there like, yo, okay, is that what's happening in the world? Okay, cool, right? They've also got a hypersome. That's interesting, because then what? Then there's a response, right? Because the response from the West was basically like, oh no, you can't what do you call that's terrible for us. How dare Iran get their own missiles, right? Which once again shows you the how this man is, right? So that's it on that. So let's see what we have. Let's do this. Because I saw something from the UK government on this. Right, Iran's Fatah missile, right? FCDO, right? So that is the Foreign Commonwealth and Development Office, right? Iran has announced the development of a new ballistic missile despite repeated calls from the UNSC to halt its program, right? So one rule for me and one rule for you, right? So that's enough on that. So where were we? We read this. We read that. He was in Joel the second chapter. Right, it says, a day of darkness and of gloomness, a day of clouds and of thick darkness, as the morning spread upon the mountains. A great people and a strong, they have never been the like, neither shall be any more after, even to the years of many generations. Right, yeah, I was hoping it was a little bit more in there, but yeah, these are just the ICBM nuclear missiles, right? It says a fire devoureth before them, and a flame, and behind them a flame burneth. The land is as the Garden of Eden before them, and behind them a desolate wilderness, and nothing shall escape. So before these missiles hit, right, you basically have a land where it is, what you call it? It is, the land is quote unquote in the eyes of these people beautiful, right? But then after these missiles hit, right, it's going to be a desolate wilderness, right? It says, yea, and nothing shall escape, because if you're in the land of America, right, when these missiles land, right, when they hit their target, and you're not of the basically, if you're not of the elect, you're not beamed up out of that land, you're gonna burn, right? The appearance of them as the appearance of horses and horsemen, so shall they run, right? Yes, when horses run, they kick up dust behind them. It is the same with the ICBMs blowing anything away that is near where it is launched, right? It says, like the chariots on tops shall they leap, like the noise of a flame that devoureth the stubble, as a strong people set in battle array before their face. The people shall be much pained. All face shall gather blackness, right? They shall run like mighty men. They shall climb the wall like men of war, and they shall march every one on his way. They shall not break their ranks, right? So shall climb the wall, right? The ICBMs will break the missile defenses, right? And now they have these hypersonic missiles, right? These hypersonic missiles can't be detected, right? Because what happens is they travel so fast, they create plasma around them, right? So basically, they absorb radio signals, which is one of the things that makes them actually quite difficult to develop, because it means that the people basically, let's say this is Iran's missile, right? So Iran, unless they have some special technology, right? But there are uh, I'm trying to think of the word. But basically, no one knows if the technology exists. It's top secret, in that basically, when it's traveling hypersonic, basically no communications can go in or out. So if you've shot the missile, right, you can't communicate it. You can't communicate with it, right, unless they've got some top secret technology, which ultimately, at the end of the day, this is the Mosai's movie. So if the Mosai wants them to be able to have cracked that code, guess what? They're gonna crack the code, right? Because the Lord wants these missiles, right, to hit to hit where they're gonna hit, right? So it shall not break their ranks. The missiles will hit their targets, regardless of any missile defense systems, right? So yeah. So that's that. Says, neither shall one thrust another. They shall walk everyone in his path, and when they fall upon the sword, they shall not be wounded, right? So if they get hit, they go and carry on, right? Because these have got to hit their target, right? In this particular instance, more so America, right? So they shall run to and fro in the city, they shall run upon the wall, they shall climb up upon the houses, they shall enter in at the windows like a thief, right? And that city is Babylon, America, right? Revelation 14 and 8. Windows is the ozone layer, so coming up from the ozone layer. It says, the earth shall quake before them, the heavens shall tremble, the sun and the moon shall be dark, and the stars shall withdraw their shining, right? It says, be blocked off by the missiles, right? And that's it. That's what's one of the things you get with the hypersonic missiles. So when the Iranian regime, right, is saying that, guess what, you can't stop this missile, right, then hey, there's really not much these guys can do about it. Okay, as in these Amalekites. If it's truly a hypersonic missile, then it's peak. It's gonna hit its target, right? And that's the same thing. Russia's got a hypersonic, and China, I believe, also has a hypersonic, and now Iran has a hypersonic, right? So when these weapons are fired at America, guess what? There ain't gonna be anything that these Americans can do about it, right? So forgot whether we read Jeremiah 49, but we'll just read it again. When Jeremiah 49:20, therefore hear the counsel of Yahweh, they hath set against Edom and his purposes, right? That he hath purpose against the inhabitants of Teman. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitations desolate with them, right? And this is 2 Ezra 15 and 30. It says, also the Carmanians, raging in wrath, shall go forth as the wild boars of the wood, and with great power shall they come and join battle with them, and shall waste a portion of the land of the Assyrians. All right, so the Carmanians referring to Iran, Assyrians represents America, right? And when you look into Carmania, a region, right? Carmania says how it is in the Greek and the Old Persian, right? Middle Persian as well. It says is a historical region that approximately corresponds to modern day Iranian province of Kerman, and was a province in the Achaemenid, Seleucid. So I just want to see that coin again. One more time. Yeah, horse and elephant. Arsasid and Sasanian Empire, right? The region bordered Persia in the west and Gedrosia in the southeast, Parthia in the north, later known as that, and Aria to the northeast. Carmania was considered part of Ariana, right? Yeah, so that's basically just proving where it is that we're speaking about, right? But then just to close off, we must needs close off with Joel 3 from verse 9, right? Because well, we'll read into it, right? Joel 3 from 9, proclaim me this among the Gentiles, prepare war, right? Wake up the mighty men, let all the men of war draw near, let them come up, right? Beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears, right? Let the weak say I am strong, right? So in these two verses, right, proclaim war, right? And the war drums are beating, right? For those that are watching and are awake, right? The war drums are beating, right? The Lord is doing His thing right now, okay? And it says, beat your plowshares and into swords, and your pruning hooks into spears. Right? Plowshares and pruning hooks, right, are equipments for agriculture, right? Whereas swords and spears are equipments representing war, right? So this is basically saying, divert your your monies, right, from agriculture to war, right? And that's what you've been seeing more and more in the world, right? More and more countries are spending more on their military, okay? And then once again, let the weak say I'm strong, right? How we read the article, right? We read the article from the UK government, right? So we condemn this and all of that crap, right? Because Iran's no longer a small boy that can be poked around. Okay, they've got the big guns too, right? It says, assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together round about. Did the cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Yahweh. Let the heathen be wakened and come up to the valley of Yahweh Shaphat, for there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about. Put ye in the sickle, for the harvest is ripe. Get you down, for the press is full. The fats overflow, for their wickedness is great. Multitudes, multitudes in the valley of decision, right? For the day of Yahweh is near the valley of decision, right? And so basically, this Third World War, right? Valley of Yahweh Shaphat mean the Yahweh's judgment, right? It's gonna be that like Middle East region, man. So when you hear these Christians speaking about peace in the Middle East, they're going off, right? They're going off, right? Because hey, that's gonna be, the place of the Most High's judgment, man. Right? A lot of blood is gonna be shed out there. Right, so as always, Lord, that was edifying. Till next time we say, Shalom.